Hey guys, welcome to Incredible, where we discover the weird and wonderful in this world. It seems like people are always looking to make themselves stand out, whether it's their trophy spouse, 100-inch flat-screen TV, or exotic pet. Now back in the day, dogs, cats, birds, fish, and turtles were considered all pets anyone needed. But not anymore, as these traditional companions just won't cut it for hipsters, status seekers, and people with way too much money and not enough brains. Join us as we look at 10 terrifying animals you're legally allowed to keep as pets. Number 1. Alligators. Alligators are typically non-aggressive towards people, unless you feel the urge to go swimming with them and start slapping them around. Alligators fall into the category of opportunistic eaters, which means they're looking for the easiest meal possible. Think of you opening a can of soup rather than cooking a turkey. That's not to say that they are a family-friendly pet to pose with in your holiday pictures. And with alligators, there's a good chance someone is going to get a limb snapped off if they do something stupid around it, and there's a reason why zoos and nature preserves have alligator handlers. Now, if you want an alligator, consider alligator wrestling school or become a zoologist. Number 2. Bears. Now, bears are cute. After all, who can forget those lovable polar bears in the commercials for Coca-Cola? And yes, people can own bears as pets. The problem is that the biggest thing humans have got going for them over bears is that wild bears are typically afraid of humans and prone to avoid them. If they are domesticated, they lose their fear of humans, and although there have been cases where bears can be friendly towards humans, all it takes is a bear to decide to embrace its wild side and turn you into the daily lunch special. That's what happened to Kellyanne Walls, who kept her pet black bear Teddy for years until it killed her. According to the Seattle Times, Walls went into Teddy's 15 by 15 foot steel and concrete cage, throwing a shovel of dog food to one side to distract the bear while she cleaned the other side. "She's done it 1,000 times," said her friend and neighbor Scott Caston, and on 1001, something happened. The 350-pound bear turned on Walls and attacked her. Walls' 2 young children and Caston's children saw the attack and summoned help. The Caston children's father shot and killed the bear, but it was too late for Ms. Walls, who died at the scene. Now, don't let images of people chilling with bears fool you. They belong in their natural habitat and animal sanctuaries, not a 3-bedroom ranch. Number 3. Boa constrictors. Now, while the number of deaths from boa constrictors average less than 1 a year, these snakes are slithering Houdinis renowned for their ability to escape from cages. If you have kids or other pets, you can see where this could be a problem. Even if it's not a problem, boa constrictors are long-lived, which means you're likely to have to take care of them for 20 to 30 years. Don't end up being one of those jerks who buys a boa then suffer buyer's remorse, releasing it into the wild to prey on other animals. There are enough discarded boas wandering through Florida already. Number 4. Tarantulas. Thankfully, tarantulas may give people the creeps, but they're unlikely to attack their owners, unlike most of the animals on our list of problematic pets. Tarantulas are defensive in nature and will not go to attack you unless they perceive you as a threat. Even if they bite you, their venom is non-fatal to people, but like any venom, there can be rare instances of serious effects. So unless your tarantula escapes from its lair and wakes you up by crawling on your head, sorry for that creeptastic image, being scared to death is the worst thing that will ever happen with these pets. Number 5. Wolf dogs. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? That's a question that reflects humanity's curious caution over wolves despite its well-known fondness for its relative, the domestic dog. Wolf dogs, a fascinating hybrid of wolves and dogs, are allowed to be kept as pets, but don't think the word dog means they're man's best friend. They're a curious combination of the two animals with a number of traits such as power and keen intelligence. However, they are extremely difficult to train, and by most expert accounts, they're only capable of being domesticated if they have a small amount of wolf DNA in them, they receive extensive training, and they have a large habitat to roam in. Nevertheless, wolf dogs are difficult pets because many people, including breeders, don't know the exact makeup of what is supposedly a wolf dog, meaning a potential owner may have no idea what they're getting, mostly wolf or mostly dog. Number 6. Tigers. Tigers are just larger versions of our pet cats, right? And just remember, if your pet cat was 80 pounds bigger, it'd probably be looking at you as dinner. There's no question that a tiger is one of the most exotic pets you can own, but they're high maintenance. A male tiger is said to require 40 square miles of habitat, females require 7, and they consume about 15 pounds of meat every day. Not to mention they have other nutritional needs. So even if you're living on a palatial estate with your own forest and fly in fresh meat every day from Mr. Bigglesworth, there are lots of reasons not to have a pet tiger. For one, you still have to deal with the tiger's solitary nature, a habit he'll enforce by any means necessary if you catch him in a bad mood. Another is a tiger's inability to tell what it considers playful hunting from mauling its owner. Tiger attacks are all too common, and when they happen, you'll be looking for a prosthetic arm or leg if you're lucky, and a closed casket funeral if you're not. Number 7. Venomous snakes. People always seem to want to take things to the next level. Who wants a non-venomous snake like a boa constrictor around you when you can get yourself a venomous snake like a diamondback? The obvious answer would be you don't want it to get loose, bite you and kill you, unless you make it to the hospital with antivenom. It takes special care to handle a snake, let alone a venomous snake, and as cliched as it may sound, it's not a question of if you'll get a bite, it's a question of when. Number 8. Crocodile monitors. No, these aren't lizards who make sure young crocodiles don't misbehave in school, but a carnivorous lizard that people are allowed to keep as pets. The problem is that the crocodile monitor needs to be put in the right size cage, and while they're not known for turning their owners into a meal, their bites can easily delete a digit from your hand and, even worse, yeah, it gets worse, infect you with potential fatal bacteria. Number 9. Elephants. Two things to consider before we look at our next selection. Number 1, elephants are not the cuddly creatures they appear to be, with apologies to Dumbo, Baba, Mr. Snuffleupagus, and other pretend pachyderms. And number 2, while they are legal to keep in some states, they are a considerable amount of care. Why people keep elephants as pets is a question as unfathomable as how Miley Cyrus keeps a career. Do they have a surplus of peanuts to get rid of? If they do, they've made a big mistake, as elephants don't even like peanuts. Whatever the motive, elephants are not domesticated. They require several acres of land to graze on, they will run you thousands of dollars every year to feed, require special medical care, and can cause considerable destruction if they run wild. While fatalities by elephants are low for those kept in captivity, do you want to get a call from your neighbor that your so-called pet elephant is trampling through their home? Worse, do you want to wake up and find yourself in the next episode of Fatal Attraction? And number 10, scorpions. Scorpions are definitely the badasses of the arachnid world, but have you ever stopped to wonder why most people who live around scorpions try to keep them out of their home as opposed to in their home? You may be thinking, what's the big deal? Most scorpions' venom isn't lethal, so what's the big deal, you might ask? Well, according to one source, of the 1,500 species of scorpions worldwide, only about 20 to 25 are regarded as dangerous. Nevertheless, scorpion stings are painful, and scorpions with even relatively low poison levels can produce fatal reactions in young children and also in adults allergic to the toxin. Now, on paper, these are some seemingly cool creatures to have around, but owning just about any one of them will lower our mortality rate. They may be legal to keep as pets, but for many people, they're better left to the realm of the local zoo or a nightmare. But there you have it, guys. 10 terrifying animals you're legally allowed to keep as pets. Do you own any of these? Let us know in the comments down below, and subscribe for more incredible videos.